I'm down by the water. The camera is up on the bike trail, and the rocks were chucked farther than that.
Put it this way.
A couple days without food, and it's bye-bye birdie. Good thing. It's all melting away.
The Department of Justice holds 2 take-back weekends each year.
Last October, they totaled more than 44,000 pounds.
Not every car
I did not. I wish I did.
was so lucky. Tickets of another kind fluttered nearby.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, those suck.
We're told that sandbags were stacked in and around the affected apartment, and nearby units were boarded up to absorb the shockwave of a second blast.
This scene just got a lot more active in the last 5 and 10 minutes. We arrived about 45 minutes ago to cover a 2-vehicle accident. One of the cars entering into a house, another car knocking over a pole and knocking out power. And then about 10 minutes ago, as this scene was being cleaned up and the lines were being cut, it appeared that a fire had started in an apartment building just a few feet away. So now you have a very active fire response from Milwaukee Fire Department as they were going door to door, in some cases kicking down doors to get into the apartments. And now you see a full response. Firefighters on the roof, firefighters on the ground. It's hard to beat the Wisconsin outdoors.
He's a busy boy, he was.
And for 23 years, it was nearly impossible to beat Sean Coffert to it.
With his hunting and fishing with his friends. And
the Sheboygan Falls native was a true outdoorsman.
Him and his hunting pictures with his friends.
A fact well documented by his aunt.
As long as I can remember, since he was a small boy, he's been out in the woods.
They know
him and his harvest,
what he loved.
Him and his fish, him and his coon dogs.
Yeah.
But they don't know.
It's, it's kind of frustrating because...
exactly how.
Why he was walking home.
His life ended.
Don't know. Just that he was hit on the side of the road.
In the early morning hours of July 3rd, 2016, Sean Coffert was struck by a vehicle near Elkhart Lake, and the driver didn't stop.
A gentleman who was going fishing.
But a second driver did.
Pulling a boat. Ran him over a second time. And he is the one who stopped and reported it.
I believe his mother was called first, and then they called me. And then I had to go talk with them and everything, and it was not a good day.
Since, the investigation has gone cold, so the family is offering a $9,000 reward.
Get some information that would lead to a conviction.
And that's the buck that's sitting in the tree with him.
Morgan Glander knew her friend loved being outside.
He was a storyteller, so all of his pictures told his stories.
But didn't know this.
In 2012.
How well
hundreds
he captured it.
Of photos of all his hunting, his fishing.
Unbeknownst to the family, Sean Coffert had neatly filed away his adventures in 6 photo albums.
Now I got something to look at.
The pictures were discovered in a Plymouth storage locker in the days following his death.
Seriously, I thought he was nuts. I was like, who takes this many pictures? But that was him. Kept everything documented.
A life lived to the fullest.
We live every day through his pictures.
Out in the open air.
That helps a lot.
In Sheboygan County, Jonathon Gregg, Fox 6 News. Be careful.
The rocks are getting larger.
And watch your steps
as you get closer to the path.
If you're running or walking near Kenosha's lakefront.
These are the largest rocks I've ever seen thrown up.
Because ankle breakers are everywhere.
Just over the weekend it happened.
Rocks and slabs of concrete.
So I wanted to come and see what it was like down here.
Lifelong resident Donna Josephwick says weekend waves did the heavy lifting.
The power of it all.
A big enough deposit to reroute Marilee Lehman's morning.
Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I'm down by the water. The camera is up on the bike trail, and the rocks were chucked farther than that.
Rocks are back from the shore, up over the embankment.
Parks Department has been clearing the mess ever since, brushing off the path as quickly as possible, using heavy machinery for the larger rocks.
Mother Nature can be a brutal force.
Yes, it can.
Oh, I've never seen it this bad.
However, as much force as the lake has, the Parks Department cleared the trails by Tuesday afternoon. Just don't go off-road.
Look at the size of them.
In Kenosha, Jonathon Gregg, Fox 6 News.
Our Jonathon Gregg was there for it. He joins us live now from the Beaver Dam Police Department with what else we've learned today.
We're told that sandbags were stacked in and around the affected apartment, and nearby units were boarded up to absorb the shockwave of a second blast.
Charges were placed in and around the affected apartment.
About 1,000 yards back from a battered apartment building,
I hope they got everything else evacuated in there.
displaced residents and neighbors started gathering Wednesday morning.
I think they'd have the store closed down.
Information and evidence was obtained prior to the detonation.
Since Monday, Beaver Dam Police, Dodge County Sheriff, the FBI, and ATF have been investigating an explosion that happened inside a Village Glen apartment.
These materials are so sensitive they cannot be handled and cannot be removed from the affected apartment unit.
Police say the blast killed a man in his late 20s, and it appeared he may have been building a bomb.
We found a significant amount of highly volatile homemade explosives.
Those involved determined a controlled detonation would be the safest way to eliminate any threat.
Who knows why people would why to build bombs anyway?
Firefighters could be seen cutting holes in the roof above the apartment in question, while officers closed several nearby streets.
There's a possibility you are in danger.
At 1:30 p.m., the detonation commenced, sending a fireball through the apartment building, blowing out debris.
At this point in time, we are anticipating some evacuated residents of nearby locations to begin moving back in tonight or tomorrow.
And we still do not know the identity of the man killed in that initial blast on Monday. Only then will we begin to understand why so many dangerous materials were inside that apartment. Reporting live in Beaver Dam, Jonathon Gregg, Fox 6 News.
We'll be sure to follow up once we learn.
Any farmer knows, whether it's a good day or bad, there's always work to do.
A lot easier than using crutches.
For Kelvin Hens, today is better.
It's kind of fun to watch,
as he
but it's a lot of work.
and his wife Jackie finish morning chores.
Yep.
But to be honest,
January 3rd, she hit black ice.
Days have been pretty hard lately. It's been almost 4 months since their 16-year-old daughter, Jodine Hintz, was killed on her way to Plymouth High School.
We had 2,600 people come through the funeral line that night, and that's not even including the ones that came and saw the line that was too long.
Jodine Hintz was a passionate equestrian.
She had a lot of people following her and a lot of role models that looked up to her.
Riding, training, and showing horses since she was a little girl, starting with one horse at age 6. By 16, Hintz was tending to a dozen.
She was trying to do her best.
And her best was pretty good, competing in just about every county fair and horse show she and her father could squeeze into a summer. Her trophies are inside.
I'd take you up to her room, but her room is still the same way since she left it.
I think that's pretty amazing, actually, to be able to see your dreams fulfilled at a very early age, because I don't think many of us have that opportunity to figure out what our passion is that early.
And if Jodine was found anywhere on the farm,
2, 3, 4 hours a night,
it was in here, in the training barn her father built her.
She got done riding one horse and that one got tired, she'd go get another one and bring them in here.
But in the months before the accident, Jodine's main focus was a pony on the way.
Little baby Lacey is just 1 week old today.
Finally arriving a few days ago.
And now this is her little foal that she was going to train, and
and work with to take to college.
Her full name is Jodine Marie's Legacy, Lacey for short. And with everything that's happened, no one would mind if the family took a break from competition.
Jody knew we were going to quit. She'd strike down with a lightning bolt.
Except maybe one.
Said, "What the heck, Dad?"
Showing a bond unbroken by grief, raising spirits as only a farm kid knows how.
We're going to be okay.
In Adele, Jonathon Gregg, Fox 6 News.